Alright guys, it's Dave Genvy here again, aka Satan. Yeah, I'm Satan. I'm the devil, it's true. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows that. Everyone on this earth knows I'm Satan. I am actually the devil. But these videos now are mostly for my daughter, because she's the one person who's a bit out of the loop. She's not really, she's not able to see the videos I make on my phone like the rest of Reptile Club. So I make these videos for her really, and also for people who are too busy to watch the videos on my phone. There will be lots of people in Reptile Club who just, you know, they're busy. They've got big busy lives, so these videos are more for them. So a lot's actually happened since my last video. Well, I made a video just recently just telling my daughter, oh, everything's fine. My internet went down, but the video, it's been quite a while before when I made my video before that. And the reason was because I've had a stupid situation where my next door neighbour has had this dog in the back garden that's been barking away through the day. And the reason it was barking was because these aliens, these grey aliens, have psychic powers, and they were getting the dog to bark continuously. And they also, these aliens with their psychic powers, control my neighbours to not do anything about the dog barking. So what would I do? I'd be in my back garden listening to the dog bark continuously. Obviously in the summer you've got your windows open, so I could hear the dog barking. So I'd just shout at the dog. I'd just stand on a little step ladder and shout over the fence at the dog to shut the fuck up. Which didn't really work that well. The neighbours would get annoyed as well. So the alien controls you all. I'm the warrior caste, that's why you need me. You need me and my children. You know, I've only got one daughter at the minute. You need me to make lots of people to have a warrior caste who's not controlled by psychic powers. Everyone else is. And I think my daughter knows all this is true now. I mean, you only have to go out on a clear night and you'll see these stars, which aren't stars, they're actually spaceships, changing shape and changing colour. They're not stars. So my daughter should realise that by now. And like I said, I mean, Frank Bruno, heavyweight world champion boxer, he got sectioned under the Mental Health Act. He got put in a mental hospital. So it's not that people are scared of me that's the reason I'm not being put in a mental hospital. The reason I'm not getting put in a mental hospital is because I'm actually speaking a lot of truth. I get some things wrong because I'm having to figure out a lot of this myself. So some things I'll get wrong, but then the following video I'll try to correct what I got wrong. I mean, in the last big video I did, one thing I got wrong was I thought in Japan they've got these MagLev trains. Turns out they're not real. I'm pretty sure they're fake. I'm going to talk about that more later. But so anyway, I had this situation with the neighbour's dog, right? So I was shouting at this dog. The neighbours weren't happy about me shouting at their dog. And but really they're just being psychic whipped to be annoyed about it and not to be controlling the dog. Anyway, the situation escalated in the end, where I've shouted at the dog. This is like 2.5 weeks ago. And then the neighbours have made false allegations to the police that I've done terrible things to them, threatening them with a knife and all this, when really all I did was shout at the dog. The police have then turned up to arrest me. I've got in a minor scuffle with the police, nothing major. And then the police arrested me, took me to the police station, held me in a cell for 24 hours, and then released me. But when they released me, they kept my phone. I've had to get a new phone. Now my phone was my internet. I used to use my phone for my internet, to run the internet on my phone, but also run the internet on my laptop and on my Xbox games console. So the police had took my phone off me. That meant I had no internet. So obviously if I've got no internet, I can't make any YouTube videos. So that's the situation there. So I thought maybe I'll get my phone back. I went back to the police station a week later to get the phone. They're not interested in giving me that phone back. So then I've had to buy a new phone. Now, unfortunately, because these aliens, they control all our tech. They make all this tech. The human race isn't clever enough to figure out how to make these smartphones. We just ain't got the brains for that. And these computers, they're incredible how they work. So this new phone I got, the aliens deliberately made it so whilst the phone internet would work, it wouldn't work with the Mac. Normally, your iPhone is supposed to be able to run hotspot on your computer, on your laptop, and also run Bluetooth. Now on this new iPhone, I got the iPhone, I think it's iPhone 15, new phone, Bluetooth and hotspot won't work. It just will not work. It won't work with my Bluetooth speaker. I've got a Bluetooth speaker down there, just that black thing, and it won't work with my MacBook. Have you ever heard of anything so ridiculous? So it's just the aliens messing me around because they're pissed off. So anyway, what I had to do was get Wi-Fi. So now I've got a situation where I used to just have phone internet running my laptop, but now I've had to get this Wi-Fi box. It's cost me, it's cost me a fair bit of money to sign up to that. And I've also got phone internet, but I've got Wi-Fi now, so that's connected to the Wi-Fi, and so is my laptop. You see it running the internet there. I've got the sound off. So I've had a nightmare basically. The other thing that happened at the police station was I actually got the water supply in the cell. So in the cell I was in for 24 hours, the water supply was actually contaminated, deliberately so. So it didn't say on the water, there's you have a little toilet and you have a little wash basin in the cell. And I was just drinking the water out of the wash basin, assuming it was fine for drinking. So I got really ill. I actually drank this water. And when I come out of the cell, I was sick as a parrot, and that was because of the drinking water was not fit for drinking. So I tell anyone, if you go into a prison cell, be very careful about drinking the water out of the wash basin. It should have said, no, this is not drinking water on it. It should have said, this is not drinking water, but it didn't. So anyone, this is a warning to everyone in Reptile Club, which is humanity. Be very, very careful when you go into a prison cell about drinking the water out of the wash basin, because the one at Bourneville police station I was at in Birmingham, it's no good for drinking. It'll make you feel very ill, very sick. And I drank loads of it, so I was lucky I didn't get more sick than I did. I did end up throwing up a couple of days after. So it's been a right situation. I think this situation's over now, I'm hoping. And I've got my internet sorted out. I've had to pay for Wi-Fi because it won't let my new phone work properly. A new iPhone, and yet Bluetooth and hotspot don't work on it. They're two major features. Don't work. It's the aliens messing me the fuck about. But there's actually been a big discovery. So this, again, everyone in Reptile Club will already know this, but this is for my daughter. I've figured out this last couple of weeks that these grey aliens aren't the bad guys. They've actually got a boss. I've talked about them in the past, the Nordics. Nordic Aliens, and they actually supposed to look a bit like us. I've talked about before, and I dismissed them. Nordic Aliens. I'll put Nordic Aliens on Google. I'm not exactly sure. They're supposed to look a bit like us. There's a picture of one. There's a cartoon picture. There's another one. Tall, blonde. There's one. So, I've talked about the Nordics before in the past, but I thought they were bullshit. Like I say, I often get things wrong as I'm trying to figure everything out. I thought they were bullshit. I didn't think they were real. And now I realise that the Nordics are almost certainly the boss of the Greys. The Greys want to work with humanity. So the Greys aren't really the bad guy. The little short 4-foot guys that are really smart with the big heads. They're really clever. They do all the fancy tech. But unfortunately, these Nordics are their boss. And I dismissed them. I thought they were fake, but I think they're real now, these Nordics. They want to try and pretend to be the good guy, but they're actually the bad guy, and they're the ones running the Greys. They want to make the Greys look like the bad guys. You say, why are they doing this? Because the Nordics want to use humanity as soldiers in the stars. I don't think they're much good at fighting. They don't really want to do it. Because when you go out into the stars to get new planets, you have to do a lot of warring. It's just constant warfare. You have to be a species that's very militarist to do well. You have to be a species that's very militaristic. It's all about warfare, getting new Earths through war. And you have to be the toughest guys out there. Otherwise, you're going to get steamrolled by some other alien species that is more set up for war than you. And that's what humanity needs to get a grip on. And that's why I'm here to make the Warrior Cast. Guys who love fighting, love constant conflict, love warfare. That's why I'm here. Most reptilian men aren't like that, you know. They don't like fighting. They get post-traumatic stress disorder from going to war. It messes with their head. They get all upset by it. So that's why I'm here. But yeah, I think these Nordics are the boss of the Greys, which means, well, first thing we need to do as a species is land on the Greys' home planet. They've got a planet in Zeta Reticuli out in the stars, and we need to land there and liberate the Greys from Nordic rule, because these guys, right, are just causing humanity no end of grief. This great reset on the oil shortages, I've talked about how they're going to do these oil shortages on the world economy. I think they're happening this year, at the end of this year, before this Christmas. I think they're happening pretty soon, these oil shortages, I think. Could be wrong. It could be a bit later than that, but I think that's when they're happening. And that's when you're going to see price of petrol at the petrol pump go up massively. It's already pretty steep. I mean, the funny thing is, price of petrol at petrol pumps at the moment is really quite expensive, yet the price of crude oil, a barrel of oil, is fairly cheap. It's still only around 60, 70 bucks a barrel. So that indicates, why is the price of petrol pumps so expensive? It's not all tax. It indicates that not as much oil is being used to make petrol, because we're beginning to run low. It's been used to make other things, because oil's in so many different products. It's been used to make other things, to keep the price of other things down. But the price of petrol's quite steep at the minute, if you notice. Not as much as not as big a percentage of that crude oil is being used to make petrol and diesel right now. I think that's what's happening. So yeah, and it's these guys that are the fucking these dudes here that are running this situation, that are running. Going to run humanity into the ground because our whole economy runs on oil. We're not using free energy because our whole economy runs on oil, and almost everything's got oil in it. You know, in terms of say this leather chair here, right? Well, the cows that made the leather, obviously leather's made from cow skin. They will have been fed on a farm where, you know, the grain to grow, to feed the cows was harvested with a combine harvester that runs on diesel. You know, everything oil's in everything, plastics is in everything. Soon as you have high oil prices, oil shortages, the whole world economy collapses. It's going to be an absolute disaster. That's why humanity needs to work with me, because I'll give you free energy, and I also know where there's more oil. As you're always going to need crude oil. I know where there's more under the salt flats of the world. And that's where we need to drill for more oil. We're always going to need oil, but we need to do recycling more. We need to use free energy to do recycling. We need to run all our cars, all our trucks, everything. We need anti-gravity as well to run our planes, rather than running planes on jet fuel, which is oil. You know, it's going to be bad, this great reset, if you don't work with me. You have to work with me, basically. So let's have a look what else we need to talk about. So a mistake on my last big video that I made was I talked about MagLev trains. Now, in Japan, Korea, and China, I think those are 3 countries, you're supposed to have these MagLev trains, which are trains that magnetically levitate above the track. They're the anti-gravity trains. I've realised in the last 2.5 weeks that it's almost a certainty that those are complete bullshit. They're not real. And if any footage you see of them is just fake CGI footage, fake computer generated imagery, special effects like you get in a Hollywood film. Because the aliens, the Nordics, who run the Greys, or the boss of the Greys, wouldn't give us something like anti-gravity. We've got to figure it out ourselves. I think I've got it figured out. I'm not going to talk about anti-gravity today. I've made a little bit of progress on it, but I'm not going to talk about it today. But yeah, those MagLev trains are totally fake. I didn't realise it when I made my last big video. So supposedly they're supposed to be cooled down by liquid nitrogen, which they just don't exist. I don't think so. I think if I was to go to Japan and say, where's the MagLev trains to have a look at, turns out they're not real. It's just that and you say, well, why would the aliens do this? To take the piss out of me, to make me look stupid, that I haven't figured out that they're fake. Something else that's fake, I'm pretty certain, is the English Channel Tunnel. So there's supposed to be, I've gone on Google, the English Channel Tunnel. There's supposed to be a tunnel that connects France to England, and it actually, the tunnel goes under the sea, under the English Channel, as if humanity is going to dig a tunnel that deep under the English Channel. Why do that when you can just use a boat to sail across it? You just use a ferry. Why would we go to the trouble of building a channel tunnel? So I'm pretty sure that's something else that's fake. And again, I'm supposed to look stupid when I don't realise it's fake. It's just nonsense. Any footage of it's just fake. And it's just nonsense. I'm pretty certain. There's loads of stuff that's fake. I mean, what else is fake? There's a company called SpaceX run by Elon Musk that's supposed to be doing vertical landing rockets at the minute. I think they're just CGI. Elon's vertical landing rockets. I might try and find it on YouTube. Hang on. So here's some footage. The vertical landing rocket. See it? Okay, so I'm fairly certain that entire video is just CGI. Vertical landing rocket like that. It's just not real. I don't think so. And if it is real, it's not us who've designed it. It'll be the grey aliens. But I very much doubt they're built of something like that. Because that would be so difficult to manufacture that. I think we have done some space travel. I mean, the International Space Station. There's supposed to be an International Space Station that's really quite massive, that we've put into orbit above our planet with nothing more than rockets. Rockets, and it's quite a large space station in this place. There it is, a picture of it there. I think that's fake. I think that's just CGI. Again, to make me look stupid when I believe in it. The Nordics are just trying to make me look a joke, because the Nordics want to appear like the boss on this earth. They're boss of the Greys, and they want to be they want to continue as boss of humanity, and they want to make me, who's supposed to be working for God, Satan, God in heaven, working for God in heaven, Satan as his boss on this planet. I'm supposed to be the Roman emperor of this planet, and they're just trying to make me look like an idiot that I believe in all this stuff. If we have got an International Space Station, it will have been put up there by anti-gravity. That's how it will have been put up there. We haven't got an International Space Station. I don't think so. And anything you see, like I say, CGI, for them to use rockets to get into orbit, and then have men bolt the space station together in orbit. It's just nonsense. It just wouldn't happen. It's like the moon landings. It's totally fake. I think any satellites we've got in orbit, so we've got like GPS satellites, they've been put there by the aliens, and they're kept in orbit by anti-gravity. So you say, why are the aliens doing all this? Because they want a soldier out of humanity they can use in the stars, that they can either do cloning with, or just breed more of, to then do fighting from in the stars. But these Nordics, they're idiots, because they want a soldier that they can still control in humanity. But that's not going to be a very good soldier, because the Nordics are complete wimps. They're no good as soldiers. But they're tougher than the Greys. The reason they can boss the Greys is because they're physically bigger. So what happened with the Greys? The Greys are useless at fighting. They cannot fight at all physically. They can do psychic fighting, but not physical fighting. So the the Greys were looking for a soldier. Thousands of years ago, they were looking for a soldier that they can use to protect them, a species that they can work with that will protect the Greys, and they chose the Nordics. They went down to the Nordic home planet, gave them all the tech, of like interstellar travel and all that, you know, which the Greys had figured out. And then it turned out that the Nordics are complete fucking pussies and aren't that great at fighting. I don't think the Greys wanted to work with humanity because they're a bit scared of them, and maybe we were a bit too savage at that time, you know, ancient man thousands of years ago. So then what they've done, the Nordics, in all this time since, have been trying to get humanity to a point where they build up our population massively, as they have done, with all this oil industry and all the tech that we've got off them, because we haven't invented it. And then build up our population, pull the rug out from under us, there's all these oil shortages, and then we're all fighting each other. And whoever's the tough guys that emerge, that the Nordics like, that they think, yeah, we can probably work with them. They'll come down, they'll come down in their spaceships, collect those specimens of humanity, those individuals, and probably try and clone them. It's a shit plan. It's terrible. But that's their plan. What would it be a lot better is to just work with me. And that's what humanity's hopefully going to do. But there's loads of tech out there. It's crap. I think any footage we've got of space hasn't been from our unmanned probes. I think it's just been from alien probes. We're supposed to have launched some unmanned probes that have gone out into space, been fired off into space, and then slingshot around the planets. It's just nonsense. It's just the aliens have gone out with anti-gravity and took photographs of our solar system for us. And you know, you get photographs of space, which is really spectacular. I mean, I love looking at some of it, some of the NASA photographs. It's not our technology that's took them photographs. It's not our probes or telescopes. It's all the aliens. Let's look at some pictures from a daughter, really. Photographs of space, really, you know, spectacular. There's one. It's a nebula. There's another one. There's one. Look, star coming out of nebula. Really spectacular. But it's alien technology that's captured all that for us. So that's what my daughter needs to realise. A lot of stuff we see in the media, in like mass media, like the news and everything. A good portion of it's fake. CGI, it's just fake. To trick me, to make me look stupid when I believe it all. So there we are. Hopefully that explains that for my daughter. Now I'm going to show my daughter something else that hopefully proves my point that we live in a world that's really quite bizarre. So we're gonna do that now. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to prove to my daughter evidence of the bizarre world we live in terms of technology. Now, there's this video. I don't want to pick on this guy. You know, I'm sure he's a lovely dude. But he's got a channel called Samson Boats Co. Right? Which that'll be short for company, Samson Boat Company, Samson Boat Co. That's his channel name. And he's got a video, a realistic day living alone on a wooden boat. Now, a big thing for humanity was mapping this earth using sailing boats. And it was the British that did it. It was the British Royal Navy that did that for the most part. The British Royal Navy and the British Merchant Navy. And the aliens, the Nordics and the Greys, well, it wasn't up to the Greys, it was up to the Nordics, could have just given us anti-gravity. Instead of having us mess about hovering, sailing through the oceans with the power of the wind, a sailing ship, a sail. They could have had us just using anti-gravity to go to different continents, so that humanity maps the whole world and becomes unified. The reason for doing that, you say, why did they bother doing that? I suppose so you can then interbreed humanity. You can take different races of man, which are all slightly different, like a black man is different to a white man, and interbreed them to see what the outcome is, to see what the result is, you know, what comes out the other side. It's almost like a scientific experiment. So I think with boats, they mess around with the boats a bit. They do stupid stuff. They often have the Nordics will have the Greys who do all the tech, designer stuff deliberately a bit stupid. And I'm going to show an example of it to my daughter. So this guy has got this thing, right? This thing here, and it turns if you watch it, and it lets the anchor down into the water or pulls it up on a chain. Yeah. And he has to turn a little lever for it. You see he's turning the lever there. Now, what happens in this video is this roller gets stuck and he has to go for a big palaver, big mess around to fix it. Yes, so this guy goes for a big mess around to fix this roller. Its only job is to spin and roll the chain into the water that holds the anchor. So where you see it begins around 8:50 in the video. You see this roller. He has he spends ages doing stuff on it, right? He's messing around with it for ages, trying to fix it, sort it out.
As the anchor roller...
Because, why is he having to mess around fixing it? Because the anchor roller, that's what that thing's called, has been designed completely wrong. So I explained to my daughter, I'm trying to prove to my daughter, this is something that's so obviously designed wrong, deliberately, by the aliens who design us everything, that it should, my daughter, you know, obviously my daughter's only young, but she should understand that it's been designed wrong once I explain it to her. So this roller's getting stuck, but because this black bit here, you see that black bit there, and there's one on the other side, it shouldn't be there. There should be a little bit of space between the side of the boat here. This is the green bit's the side of the boat, and this is this green bit here is the other side of the boat. That black part shouldn't be there. There should be a little gap, just a little gap there, right? Instead of having that black bit, nothing there, and then nothing here, this black bit here, so that the roller can spin freely, and there's just a little bit of gap on either side, so it won't get stuck. And then you just have a metal tube through here. I think you see on the other side of the. See when he's working on his ship. I don't know where it is. Maybe. Yeah, you see that. You just have that's where that roller is. It's in between there. There's just a metal tube where again there's like plenty of a little bit of play for the roller to move around, because all it is a roller. There's just a chain going onto the roller, and it just rolls the anchor into the water. Why then is it so tightly fitted? Why is this big chain? This big chain, say if there's just a little gap there, that chain isn't going to fall off and get stuck there if there's a small little gap. But there's no gap at all. So obviously this thing's just going to get stuck again. In the future probably. I mean, it might not. But the fact that the whole video, it's an 11-minute long video, is about him fixing that roller. But I'm just saying, it wasn't designed right to begin with. And it's me trying to point out to my daughter, they do stuff like that for us all the time. They design stuff stupid. The Nordics have the greys deliberately design stuff stupid for us, so it's going to fail. It's going to break. I mean, we shouldn't be driving cars that run on petrol. We should be driving cars that run on free energy. You never have to fill them up with fuel. But hopefully my daughter can watch that video and understand what I mean. But through the centre of this roller, there should just be, like, you see the pen? Imagine my fingers, that circle, the fingers of the roller, and then the pen is like holding it there, just a piece of metal that's like a cylinder. They'll just be holding it through the centre. And there's a gap. There's a gap, so the pen doesn't get stuck. The cylinder metal roller wouldn't get stuck. And also there should be a gap where this black bit is here and here. Now by the end of the video, he's happy with his work, and you see this man just sitting there eating his bowl of food. I'm not trying to embarrass him or make him feel bad, but he feels like he's done some good work. But really, he's just been messed about by the alien and had to do something totally stupid, because that part of his ship hadn't been designed right. It's worth watching that video, Holly. It's only 11 minutes long. Like I said, a realistic day living alone on a wooden boat. This man obviously lives on his boat. Samson Boats Co. It's a channel. It's worth watching, and hopefully you see what I mean. That roller's designed wrong, glaringly so much so that a little kid like you should be able to understand that it's designed wrong, and then that begins to prove to you, give evidence to you that what I'm saying on this YouTube channel is right. Our world is run by aliens, and they're not been very nice to us. They're taking the piss out of us on a lot of things. But although, like I said, I don't think it's the Greys' fault. We need to get to their planet eventually. It'll take a long time to do all the tech, although I've got a lot of it figured out. Get to their planet and liberate them from these Nordics. These Nordics are the ones that are the problem, I think. I have to do a lot of guesswork, because none of Reptile Club can help me. None of humanity can help me, because they're not allowed to, because they're being controlled by these Greys with psychic powers, and the Greys are controlled by the Nordics because they're just physically bigger. They just beat the Greys up, and they've got the Nordics have the technology that they got from the Greys to be able to get to the Greys' planet. Hope that all makes sense, my daughter. Hope so. That's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and the other thing I'd like to say to my daughter before I go is, again, all you've got to do as a little kid is keep your spirits up. Even if you don't believe me on anything, it doesn't matter. You just think your dad's crazy. It doesn't matter. All you've got to do is keep your spirits up, keep cheerful. Don't let the aliens make you feel sad. And that's all you can do. Right, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.